up just how good it was.
Hines the alley-oop, and look out below. Jermichael Green.
His ability to step out and shoot the mid-range jumper and be as good as he was, but also strong around the basket, able to put it on the deck and get to the rim.
A little up and under, got it to go off the glass.
He was the best guy there, but he had to work for the 17 that he got. And the fact that he only had 4 rebounds says that they did a heck of a job of keeping him from being more of a factor on the glass than he ordinarily would be.
And Green makes sure.
It's a big game, period, but if you're a kid from the state of Alabama, especially a guy that grew up within an hour of Auburn, and you're playing for Alabama, you know that's got special meaning.
Payne to get it in. Auburn with a skeleton squad. 3 guys, make that 4 guys who fouled out. Payne, travel.
I'm not so sure about that. Dribble. Well, I think he had 2.5 steps there instead of just 2.
23 turnovers tonight for Auburn. And 3 of the last 4 possessions, they are completely coming unglued. At one point in this game, they had a 15-point lead, 12-point lead here in the half. Relaford finds a wide open. Hines goes up with a slam. Wallace on the run. And he's fouled by Relaford. Wallace to shoot.
Look at this. Comes over and helps. Nice job of the block.
It's Ty Armstrong with the block, number 5.
And basically the only reason that Ty Armstrong's into the game because of the foul trouble by the Auburn Tigers.
Another free throw coming for Wallace. Auburn only 9 of 17 from the line tonight.
And all the players for Auburn are looking over at Tony Barbee, and I was reading his lips. All he's telling his guys to do is just relax.
We're tied under a minute to go.
Wallace, a 63% free throw shooter, cans them both.
Relaford goes for Green, guarded by Armstrong, blocking foul on Armstrong.
And see, what I saw from our side is that Jamel Green took that right hand and hooked it around the defender, and that's the reason why he fell down. Now watch the right arm. He moves, swings it. Now at the same time, though, Ty Armstrong did stick his leg out, but you tell me what happens first.
And that's the healthy leg for Armstrong. He's got that knee in a brace. Knee surgery back in August.
For me, as an independent party, it looked like that the hook occurred first before Ty Armstrong stuck out the leg.
Big miss for Jermichael Green, one of the better foul shooters on this team at 73%.
I used to play against a guy by the name of Rasheed Wallace, who basically would, if the call was made that you thought was wrong and the guy missed the first free throw, he used to scream, "Ball don't lie."
And Alabama goes back in front by a point with 44 seconds to go. Andrew Steele comes back in defensively. Davis, the shooter, goes out.
Now the question for Auburn is, though, do they go quickly to try to go 2 for 1? You don't see that a lot in college.
Timeout, and Auburn is out of timeouts. So what's the strategy here for Tony Barbee?
No timeouts remaining.
Well, one of 2 things. He draws up a quick play to try to get up a quick shot so that he can try to get the ball back and have the last shot of the game. But now, as you look at this, does he really have time to run a play and then still get it back because of the reset of the shot clock? Most likely, he's probably going to draw a play out, try to run some time off the clock, take a shot, and then if they miss, foul immediately.
Here's our game reset. Alabama with a couple of timeouts remaining. Both teams at the free throw line, obviously, the rest of the way. 42 seconds to go. Possession arrow favors Auburn. The Tigers down a point.
Now, one of the things you may think about doing instead of fouling immediately, you have one or two choices. If you don't score, depending on how late in this game clock you go, and Alabama gets the rebound, maybe you try to get a 10-second call. And then if you can't get the 10-second call, then you foul.
Auburn has lost Gabriel, Ross, Chubb, and Forbes. All on the bench. They have fouled out. So it's the B squad in there for the Tigers over these final seconds. Down a point. They have possession. And they have the arrow behind it. It is Tony Naismith to trigger it in from the sideline. About an 8-second difference between game and shot clock. Langford in and out. Relaford the rebound. And they foul Relaford. He'll go to the line with 28.4 seconds left.
Oh, Langford got a nice look at it. I think what they were trying to do is now you run the play, get the ball to Langford. You see Ty Armstrong working hard down there. Maybe you look down on the post temporarily to see if he's open. But again, a nice shot, in and out. And you can't fault Auburn for running that play. They did a nice job of execution.
It's been a quiet scoring night tonight for Relaford. His fourth point here tonight, but his maturity for a freshman has really been apparent, especially in close games like this one here tonight. Throughout this season, he has played like an upperclassman at times for the Tide. Another big free throw coming up.
Still, for Auburn, no need to panic. Still 28.4 seconds on the clock. Even if he makes this, you're only down 3.
And
that's the second time he's done that tonight.
Stepped over the line. So Relaford called for a violation. And
see, I question this timeout by Anthony Grant, because now you're allowing Auburn to set up a play. Look at this. Here he goes. Got to wait for the ball to hit the rim in college. In the NBA, as soon as it leaves the shooter's hands, you can step in. But to go back to my point, Auburn's out of timeouts. And I understand that Anthony Grant is trying to set up his defense because he probably wants to press. But why give Tony Barbee and the Auburn Tigers a chance to draw up a play?
Here's our Geico play of the game. And this is really where the momentum swung to Alabama for the rest of the way up to this point. Steele off the steal, scores on the tip in by Mitchell. And then Steele got hurt, but at that point, everything really looked good for Alabama, and they got a 2-point lead now with 28 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. Naismith. Shot good, and we're tied with 13 to play. Here comes Alabama quickly. And a timeout, Anthony Grant. And they're out of timeouts. 7.6 seconds to go. Could you have asked for a better game here tonight between two long rivals?
Now look at this. Tony Naismith keeps going. He's waiting for the defense. He's trying to make the defense make a decision. If they would have come out and picked him up, he probably would have dumped it off. JaMychal Green decides to wait for him to come. He gets deep enough, throws it up off the backboard, gets it to drop in.
On paper, this was supposed to be a rout by the Tide here at home. They haven't lost at home yet this year. Auburn led the entire first half. They only gave up the lead late here in the second half. It's now tied with just seconds to go.
But what we haven't seen here is the total collapse, which they've seen in other games this season. And again, as we talked about, Anthony Grant said, yeah, I know we have some early losses to some good teams. That's affecting how we look on the national scene to those that haven't seen us play in the SEC. But I like how our team has progressed. Tony Barbee said the same thing. Listen, I got a bunch of young guys. I'm kind of putting guys together with Band-Aids. I had my best player got hurt, but I've seen progression. A lot of people talked about this Auburn team may not win a single game in the SEC. They've already won 2, with the possibility now of winning their third against a crosstown rival.
Who do you want to take this shot?
For Alabama, it doesn't matter. Whoever's open.
7
You
to
don't
go.
have to necessarily run it for one guy.
Mitchell. He takes it. Slices in. Shot. Tipped up and in. Jamichael Green.
Oh!
And Alabama escapes with a win.
And you hit it just on the head. Escapes. And how about what beats the Auburn Tigers? We talked to Tony Barbee prior to the game, and he said the one thing that could be our Achilles heel is offensive rebounding by the Alabama Crimson Tide. We do an excellent job of first shot defense, but you got to watch out for Alabama because they crash the boards hard, and those second chance opportunities could kill us.
Jamichael Green tips it in just before the buzzer.
Look at this. Nice job by Mitchell. Takes it to the basket. A lot of contact. The officials elect to let it go. Nobody for Auburn puts a body on. Watch this. Jamichael Green comes all. He sets the screen. Runs all the way down. Nobody ever puts a body on him. Gives him free reign at the ball. Gets it up and in.
That was his only field goal of the second half.
None bigger in this game.
51-49, Alabama, which couldn't afford a loss to Auburn tonight, comes from behind to get it done.
The reaction that day was excitement because you've won, but it was probably relief as much as anything else.
Every game for us, SEC play was, we didn't have a bunch of opportunities to build a tournament resume, but we had some that could have killed us if we lost, and that was one of them because Auburn wasn't having a great season. So numbers-wise, if we dropped that game, you know, we only had one way to get in the NCAA, and that was to win the SEC tournament. So we knew we still, in a way, controlled our own destiny a little bit by winning that game.
Slices in, shot, tipped up and in.
For it to win that way on the tip end at the very end where everything else that was going on, it was probably a big sense of relief.
And Alabama escapes with a win.
It had been a while since we lost at home, and you know, we felt like we worked way too hard to just kind of give that away, and that if we were going to go down, we were going to go down fighting to the end.
On paper, this was supposed to be a rout by the Tide here at home.
To Auburn's credit, they just laid it on the line. And they played a way that they had to play to give themselves a chance to win that one. And while it was not a thing of beauty, you know, regardless of who you pull for, you could appreciate the toughness and the way both sides fought in that game. Alabama won a game on a day when they were far from being at their best.
You know, I think walking away after that game, we kind of realized how important it was to prepare for every single team, because in the SEC, anybody can get beat on any given night.
Jamichael Green's game-winning tip-in would be another accolade from his junior year, where he would also earn first-team All-SEC honors. After the emotional win, the Crimson Tide would falter down the stretch to miss the NCAA tournament, but did make a strong run through the NIT, where they fell to Wichita State in the championship game. Auburn finished the season 11-20 after a first-round loss to Georgia in the SEC tournament. For SEC Rewind, I'm Dari Noka.
Well, yeah, you know, Coach Grant, he's always even keel, and you know, after the game, we didn't talk much. You know, we just, you know, great job fighting, and you know, we got to come back and get better. But I always remember the next day we came and watched film of that game, and afterward he asked, you know, what we thought about it. And, you know, in my mind, I felt like I had the right answer, but I was kind of nervous to say it. But he told us that, you know, sometimes the mark of a good team is when they win a game, when they play absolutely terrible and they've got no business winning it. I think that was one of the kind of marks where we were like, okay, we really got something good going.